What's up, guys? Motonosity here. Hoping you guys can see pretty well. It's really foggy this morning. First time it's been foggy in months. I can't remember the last time it was foggy. And we haven't gotten any rain in November, so haven't seen any moisture. Well, except when I went to Houston, but haven't seen any moisture in Austin in quite some time. So yeah, hoping you guys can see pretty well. So today I'm gonna give you guys this is a question that I've gotten a lot lately. I don't know why, but I've gotten this question a lot lately in comments and in messages. So I figured I'd do a quick video on it. And that question is when to shift gears. So I did a video on how to shift gears, but this will go a little more into it on when you should shift gears. So this is a little difficult to explain verbally. I mean, it'll help that I'm actually showing you, but it's more of an instinctual thing. It's something that you're gonna have to learn on your own riding the motorcycle. But I'll try my best. So, the higher you have your revs, the more power the motorcycle is going to make. That is obvious. What you have to learn on when to shift is how much power you need to accomplish the acceleration that you're going for. So, I'm just cruising along here. Casually shifting gears as I need to. So I don't need a lot of acceleration, and therefore I don't need to take my revs very high. If I was accelerating on the frontage road or access road, depending on where you are and what you call it, to get onto the highway, I would want a little more acceleration. If I was racing, I would want a lot of acceleration, and therefore in those situations I would need to take the revs higher so that I could make more power to get the acceleration that I wanted. So that is the general concept of where you need to shift. If it's casual, you don't need to shift as high. If you're trying to achieve a lot of acceleration, you should shift higher. Now, where that is, well, it depends. It depends on the bike. Wow. So there's a lake right here, but you guys can't see that because of the fog. And I also can't see downtown. You would be able to see downtown here, but I cannot see. It's maybe 1/8 of a mile. That's how much visibility is right now. Anyways, so was gonna get on the highway, but that is not moving. So again, in a car, your red line is gonna be 6, 8, depending on what kind of car you got. On a motorcycle, you see here I've got 11,000 RPM. So it's a little different, and it's going to vary between each bike. So I can't give a set amount on when to shift. Generally, a good gauge is if you're just shifting casually, you want to shift around 40% of red line. Now this isn't a set amount, but on here, when I'm just shifting casually, when I'm just going in regular traffic, and I'm not trying to accelerate super quickly, don't you move. I will shift around 5,000 RPM. Again, I have an 11,000 RPM red line. That varies. If I'm just puttering along and I really don't need to even accelerate, I just want to move to the next gear, I'll usually do that. I could go as low as 4.5, but I always want to leave my bike with around 4,000 RPM, so I have enough acceleration in pretty much all situations. I'm making enough power to accelerate fast enough in all situations, and I need the bike to be above 4,000 RPM for that. And now this is something that I've learned just riding the bike. It's not something that someone told me. It's not something I read. It's just something I've grown to know on this bike from riding it. And once you experience your bike, you'll learn at what points those are. You will learn how high of an RPM you'll need to maintain in order to have acceleration in all situations, and you'll know when you'll have to shift for all situations. And just something, this is really maybe sound cliche, but the speed at which you should shift is when it feels like you should shift. So if I'm just riding casually and I stall because I'm not paying attention. That scared me for a second. Bike wasn't starting. Yeah, so you want to shift when it feels right. If I'm just riding casually, when I get up to 5,000 or 6,000 RPM, it starts feeling like I should shift. Like the sound is louder. Like the bike, like here's 6,000 RPM, and it feels like the bike is like, whoa, do something, either accelerate faster or shift. So you'll shift. And you start, on my bike, you start feeling that around 5 or so. Maybe 5.5. So, just get a feel for it on your bike. It's going to be different for each bike. It's going to be different for each situation. And not everyone shifts at the same points. I may shift a little lower than someone else who rides the same exact bike as me. And that's just preference. So, ride your bike, get a feel for it, find out what feels right to you, and use these general guidelines that I've given, and truck. So I hope that helps. I know it's a little difficult to explain that. It might be a little difficult to understand for those of you that are interested in this question. So other people chip in. For those that have been riding for a while, chip in, let me know what your thoughts are. Leave a comment and let me know. So that's it. Be sure to subscribe, like and share the video. Be sure to like me on Facebook and Twitter. Those links are in the description. Videos every Thursday, so I will see you guys next week. Have a good weekend. Later.